Tonight, we are joined by David Whelan. He's the brother of Paul Whelan, one of those Americans imprisoned in Russia. Mr. Whelan, thank you so much for your time tonight.
Thanks for having me on.
What can you tell us about how your brother is doing in the conditions of his imprisonment?
He's in a labor camp in the center of Russia. It's about 8 hours from Moscow by car. And he works on clothes. He manufactures clothes with other prisoners, which are sold in the commercial Russian market. He's been suffering from a respiratory ailment of some sort and also has injured his arm through the repetitive work of cutting strings off of these commercial clothes.
How often are you able to communicate with him?
I haven't spoken to him since October 2018, but he has been able to speak to our parents. Those are the only people he's able to speak to right now other than U.S. Embassy staff. And it's through them that we hear about his day-to-day life and how he's doing.
The Biden administration says freeing your brother is a priority, and the Kremlin is signaling that they're open to so-called hostage diplomacy. How hopeful are you that your brother might be released, and when do you think that that might happen?
I'm always hopeful that he'll be released, but I don't have any idea what the timeline might be. The Biden administration has been very outspoken about Paul's case, and we've appreciated that as a family. It's given us hope, and it has given him hope in the middle of Mordovia. But he's still a hostage, and there's no evidence yet that the Russians are willing to engage in any sort of exchange for him. They said last week, the Russian government did, that they would not consider Paul for exchange. So it's very difficult to know when his hostage situation will come to an end.
And you know, when we talk about the word hostage, do you have any sense of just how perhaps cruel or unusual the punishment might be that he's dealing with day to day?
I think it's unjust to take someone who hasn't committed any crime and to put them in a prison. I just think as a fundamental point of fairness, any country that has the rule of law, any country that cares about human rights wouldn't do that. And that's really where Paul has been. As of June 15th, he will have spent 900 days as a hostage of the Russian government.
Your family just released this recording of your brother Paul from May 30th. Let's take a listen.
President Biden, after 30 months of being wrongfully detained by the Russian government, which is twice as long as American citizens were held hostage in Tehran, I implore you to bring this appalling case of hostage diplomacy to an end. I remain innocent. Please bring me home to my family and my dog Flora, where I belong.
Missing his dog Flora. What do you hope that this message might accomplish?
It serves two purposes, really. Paul, by recording it and actually speaking it over the phone while my parents held a recording device up to the speakerphone, it shows that he is still being strong and trying to fight mentally against this imprisonment. And on the other hand, I think it is a personal statement to President Biden that if the State Department wasn't already sufficiently engaged, if President Biden wasn't already sufficiently concerned about an American who is arbitrarily detained by the Russian government, that perhaps this direct message would help.
Do you have any concerns about retaliation from the Russians?
Absolutely. He gave an interview to an American media platform and immediately afterwards lost some of his phone privileges. So we're concerned that he will have retaliation either in having phone calls to our parents cut off or to be put into solitary inside the labor camp.
If there is a prisoner swap, your brother and Trevor Reed in exchange for the release of an arms dealer and others, do you think that that could set a dangerous precedent, perhaps create an incentive for Russians to imprison more Americans?
Absolutely. I think that's a very bad precedent to set. And unfortunately, it's a predicament that it's very difficult if it's your citizens who are the tourists or the hapless who are caught up in that situation, because no country wants to be in the position of having to trade or having to consider trading arms dealers and drug traffickers for their innocent citizens. But I think arbitrary detention is on the rise, and Russia is not the only country who will do it.
And lastly, after everything that your family has been through and continues to endure, what will you be thinking when you see President Biden on the world stage alongside President Vladimir Putin?
Well, I'll have thankfulness and hope. Frankly, I was very thankful that President Biden extended the offer to President Putin. The lack of communication between the two nations has been a disaster for Paul. I think it has lengthened his stay unnecessarily. And I will be hopeful that this summit will provide some sort of foundation so that even if he's not part of a swap or an exchange or some sort of immediate action, that the foundation will be laid for his release to come sooner than later.
David Whelan, once again, we thank you so much for your time, for talking to us. All the best to you and your family.
Thanks so much. I appreciate you having me.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.